So today I'm going to tell you why the 100L should be in your camera bag. Let's do it. Hey, welcome back guys. So this is another week and I apologize, I have not been making a lot of videos. I've been super busy. I'm in the process of moving into a new house. As you can see, my office is completely trashed, right? There's bags, camera bags, there's stuff everywhere, stuff in boxes. Everything is a complete mess. My life is a complete mess, but I want to talk to you about why I feel like the 100L is the kind of the one lens that I've had for over, I don't know, like maybe 8 years now, and it's been my go-to lens in so many situations. Come on, let's do it. So to start off with, right, I got this lens, the 100L, the Canon 100L, a while back when I first got into doing weddings. I needed a macro lens to get those epic ring shots. I didn't have a macro lens back then, so the 100L was my go-to lens for anything close up. But over time, I learned that the 100L is actually capable of much more than just doing macro. I found myself using this for portraits. I found myself using this for detail shots. So like, you know, of when people are holding hands and I want to get those shots of them holding hands. Not necessarily a macro shot, but kind of the hands fill up the frame. So like the detail shots. And the more and more I use this lens, the more and more I fell in love with it, right? This is the lens that I kind of always go back to when I need a lens that gets detail. So this lens actually has one big drawback, and that is autofocus. The autofocus on this lens is actually pretty slow. Even though it has this limiter on the side here that limits it from going into macro and like everything else, I still feel like it's pretty slow at autofocusing. So I wouldn't use this for anything moving, and I wouldn't use this for action, sports, wildlife photography, anything like that. But when the subject is stationary, this lens performs amazing. And in those situations, most of the time I'm manually focusing. And I love this lens for manually focusing because it's just such an easy lens to focus with, right? If you've ever thought about getting a macro lens, right, I do have the new RF 35 macro lens, but this is one of those lenses that I take when I'm traveling. But when I'm in the studio, when I'm out, when I'm working a job or a photography job, video job, where like I need to get the shot and I need to get it in really good detail, the 100L comes with me every single time. When you actually pair this up, right, when you pair this lens up with good quality lights, like inside a studio, this lens shines so good. Like the detail that I get, the background blur, everything that combines together to create an amazing shot. I feel like this is the lens that I go for. Okay, so on the wedding side, I know a lot of people love shooting with the 35-85 combo, but for me, it's 35-100 all day, every day. I am giving up a few things, shooting with a 100 rather than an 85. Number one, the autofocus. The autofocus is better on the 85. Number two, it's got better low light. It goes all the way up to 1.2, 1.4, depending, or 1.8, depending on, you know, which one you get. This is F2.8, so you're gonna get a better low light performance out of the 85. But for me, the detail that I get out of this, the versatility, the being able to shoot macro and being able to shoot 100, you get that little bit more reach. Definitely, in my opinion, the 100 is better in my bag than the 85. As long as you know when to pull the 100 out, because if you're trying to follow, like if you're trying to track someone walking down the aisle, don't use this lens, stick to the 35. But when they're standing at the altar and they're just standing there and they're not moving, 100 is a beautiful lens for that. You can even chuck it on autofocus in that situation and it's gonna do a pretty good job. It's a little bit slow, but you will get the shot, right? You'll get it sharp, it will look good. You will. And the reason why I love this lens so much is because it stays in my bag all the time, and it's literally my backup lenses to so many of my other lenses. It's a backup to my 70-200, it's a backup to my 85, it's a backup to my 35 macro too, right? So, well, when I think about it, this is kind of a backup macro to my 100, but you know, this lens here, it's such a versatile lens. Like, people see it as a 100 macro. It's pretty limited. It's just for macro. They're completely wrong, because when I actually go out and shoot with this 100 macro, there's so many different situations that actually this product shines so much more than some other more expensive lenses. Well, I just wanted to share with you why I feel like the 100L is my go-to lens. It is my absolute go-to lens in so many situations. When almost every time I'm in the studio, this is the lens that I use. Apart from if I'm doing like a full body, you know, like a full body shot. If I'm doing even like a you know, a tight, you know, like super tight, or like, you know, waist to head, the 100L is probably on my camera. And you know, like when I'm in the studio, I'm never really ever shooting at f1.8 or f1.4, f1.2. So the 100L is perfect. I feel like it's got more detail than a lot of these other L lenses, and it's one of the reasons why I keep going back to it. I know I've been just bragging on about the 100L. The 100L is definitely one of those things, but do keep in mind, like, if you are not a manual focus type of person, or if you take photos of stuff that moves a lot, this might not be the lens for you. But if you're a portrait photographer or you're into macro stuff, I feel like this is probably the Canon lens that you want to put in your camera bag to get those really cool shots. It's built like a tank. Like, it's built like, if I smash this on my head, this is gonna survive. My head's probably gonna break. So that's it for now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little talk about the 100L. If you want to see more of my stuff, don't forget to just hit that subscribe button below. And until next time, guys, go out and create, and hopefully I will see you guys soon.